I can't believe that, for wanting to have these. Whoa, sorry. It doesn't handle tape like the MCI and Sony and Studers do that. But to have this, a mixer system with XLR, and great speaker system to go portable, which was a real problem when you're doing on location, be able to play things back properly. But yeah, that's such a cool machine.
Very cool.
And all these things actually work. All these nice little cellophane going by.
That is cool.
I keep being amazed that it fires up every time I turn the switch. But yeah, that's the last Ampex made reel-to-reel, and it was made by TEAC, as was the ATR 700. I don't know if you know that story about Ampex, but they decided to stop and rebuild in California, new facility and retool and everything. And they spent a year doing it, and they shut down their old facility. And they were the top in the market, and when they came back, Studer and Atari and Sony had wiped them out. And they ended up going to TEAC to get stuff built, and that's just amazing to me that a company would decide to shut down. This guy actually works too.
Oh, wow. So that's an 8-track?
Yeah, it's an 8-track of a live presentation of Willie at Riverbend Baptist Church in Austin. I've got the master of that in the other room. I'll show you that in just a second.
Now, what model is that?
That's the TEAC X1000.
Oh, okay, so it's the older version?
That's about the last one they made. Like that. If I'm not mistaken. This guy's cold. I should have warmed this up. It is really cold.
It's been cold in Texas.
Gonna do it. You're going into fast forward, so you're not jumping up here. I thought I'd have that queued up. Well, thank you. Just got hit by a sure. Now they made the X2000, I think, but the 1000 did some kind of upgrade afterwards. This was the original part of that 777 over there, but that is the last Sony built. That was real high end.
Oh, that's the last Sony?
Yeah. Boy, these have to be exercised. I wonder where I'm playing that through. I'll have to do it. That's why I take a day to set things up to see how things are doing. A little bit more here. This is just different companies. Sony. I thought this woolen sack was interesting because this has a pressure roller comes up out of the bottom, which is kind of unusual. Portable thing there. More of our mics, and we've got some that are still almost new. Isn't that cool? Anyway, I'm not going to take that apart.
What is that?
That's the Argon. It's the same as a Calrad. It's the same look. Yeah, it's just a
very cool
knockoff. Looks good. Well, I say knockoff. We sold these to everybody from stage shows to Tony Danza used it for his assistant. You'll see him in, we've got a whole thing online.
Oh, is that Nakamichi? There's a Nakamichi.
Yes, yeah. And Sony cassette. We weren't going to do cassette till just recently. We got more Nakamichi and Marantz. Another interesting guy trying to decide, do we want to do vinyl or reel-to-reel? I think that's a nice looking, that's a Wilcox Gay unit that was $100, 1951.
Which was a lot of money back then, right?
That's about it in here. This is a Russian tape recorder, which was really kind of funny. We
won't tell anybody about the CDs. About the CDs. Here.
About the what?
We're going to edit out the CD collection.
Okay, yeah, it's old. It's not used anymore.
There
right,
you go.
Thank you.
Good answer.
Yeah, be careful. This is our
Holy
problem
cow.
right now is
Space.
space.
Oh, here's a crown.
Yeah, this is a cool, beautiful machine. This is a Crown playing through an old high-end, not high-end, but an old Sony.
Yeah, guys love the crowns.
Oh, I think they're... Where's mine? Once again, noisy pause. Alright, everybody needs a little tender loving care. Oof. It was interesting because of that one Ampex that I said was built that had the same specs as the big one. Everybody started copying them, so that's Heathkit's version of it. That's Akai's version of it, and that's Roberts. And Roberts, I don't know if you've seen our site about Roberts, but he found out that Akai was building great turntable motors because he had a high-end transcription turntable that he was selling, and he went and met with Akai, and he said, you know what, I think we ought to build tape recorders. So they sent him something that he said was a piece of junk. So he sent him the Ampex, well, it's up there in the top right corner, but the 600. And they came back with this one, and it looked similar to the Ampex 600, but it played like nothing. And so he went back to the board and finally got them to do some other thing. But he got them to give him the North American franchise for Akai until 1972. So this was from like the 60 to 1972. No, Akai couldn't sell in North America. They would send him the recorders that he designed, and he would rebrand them as Roberts and sell them. So like, that's the Akai, that's the Roberts. There's two over there. The top one's an Akai, the bottom one's a Roberts. The recorder on the right there is another funny one, and this one definitely needs work. So there's a companion down there that I'm going to combine these two and rebuild this. Basically, it plays reel to reel, and then if you want it to, you can actually play a cassette.
Oh wow!
Or if you're still trying to get new, here's the 8-track cartridge. Hi, love. You doing all right?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm going back up. Okay,
Okay. So it's got all the tracks and everything. Let's take that guy out of there. Ah. So it's covering all their bases. But this guy has some problems. This was rebuilt from a Kai and a Roberts, and it just, over time, just starts failing. Another consumer Ampex here that was supposed to not, you wouldn't have to thread it.
Most forgiving man.
What are we listening to there?
But
My Fair Lady. If it,
Oh, there's an Akai 77, right?
that's the, stop.
Stop.
Yeah, what is that? Yeah, the 77. You've seen that guy load. I just cut my hand on it.
I have. Doesn't it? It's the one that goes up
Yeah,
and over.
it goes around.
My brother has one of those. Look at that little guy.
Yeah, no, portable. This is the one that Robert Metzner actually patented. And what he patented was the dial on top. And it is really funny because it this. I did myself on. So you turn this on a timer and it'll reverse. I'm gonna go put a band-aid on this.
Oh, did you scratch or something?
Yeah. And I pulled out that one thing that went, no! My hand. Could let that go, didn't want to get blood all over the recorders.
Yeah.
So anyway, he patented that, and this was the only recorder he had in his home after he quit doing it all. But he did a lot of things. He was putting patented a proposal of putting metal bars throughout all the streets in Los Angeles underground and put magnets on cars. And this is 1947. And he said if you could set up the cars, the magnets would read the metal bars and keep the cars at a uniform distance, so when they started forward, everybody went at once. And then in '55, he patented a hybrid car, a gas-electric car, built it over 60s and 70s, took it to Detroit in '75 with the help of an airplane fabricator who did all the aluminum, and took it to all three motor companies, and they said, you know, gas is what, 50 cents a gallon, it's not worth it. And it's in the Peterson Museum in Los Angeles now. And when his patent expired, a year later, Prius started their production. And he went, I mean, it was just like, hey, he was like, okay, whatever. But he did a lot more things other than just the tape recorders. This was another guy that was competing with Ampex. His name was Bert Berlant, and his design stuff was just awesome. And he built these incredibly robust machines. If you again, it's too bad this is cold, because once it gets warmed up, it's amazing. I should have turned this on earlier. This guy whines, but nobody whines. And he put it on a rheostat so you could slow it down and do any speed you wanted to, but then his brakes were great. Really have that turned down. He also built the green machine behind you with the big white buttons. And I used this for on-location recording a lot, and it was really fun.
Well, that's a beautiful machine.
Again, I probably should have started it earlier, but again, it has great whine, great control.
Love those buttons.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he definitely...
Wow, sounds good too.
It's transistor with a tube tone amplifier in the top.
Wow.
Which is interesting. And then you had companion speakers that you could put together and carry. Just amazing.
it sounds fantastic.
Yeah,
It's a good sound machine.
they're great speakers. Yeah. I recorded 2 boys from Oinaga, Mexico in a motel in Marfa, Texas with this for a soundtrack for a movie called El Coyote. That was really fun.
Wow.
But the trouble I had with that machine was the solenoids kept burning out, so I finally had to give it up. I went to the TIAC. TIAC was much more dependable. Here's one I'll show you that's really funny twist. I know, getting around. Some of these suitcases here have been donated to the museum, and I've had second thoughts about we've been accepting old Webcore stuff that's really probably not worth anything, but the people said, you know, it belonged to Grandpa and that kind of
Right.
stuff, and I just feel like we need to do it. So, this is made by Bell and Howell, and I think this is going to have to take some kind of award. So let me rewind this a little bit. And another one. I mean, again, they should have been probably warmed up. So I had an engineer friend from UT, and he came over and we started musing about picturing a group of engineers around a table trying to decide what could we do about threading. Everybody hates threading recorders. So I know what we can do. We can put a vacuum motor in the middle of it. Let me tighten this up a little bit. Oh, it actually was taken.
Wow, that is cool.
That is strange.
Very cool. I like it though.
Yeah, yeah,
What a brilliant idea.
yeah. That's funny that turned out to be the downfall of reel-to-reel was people hated to thread it.
Didn't like thread.
Believe it or not, there's even more.
More?
We have really run out of room. This is, we got everything like an old broadcast thing, but here's one of the first professional Magnacords, which was a bear. And
Wow, that's beautiful
old
workmanship.
Ampro, woolen sack, Ultramic. Ultramic was the famous hook it up to your radio, go to the other room and act like a radio announcer that your friends couldn't believe,
Yeah.
you know, kind of thing.
They didn't know.
Yeah, right. Brought that back from England. Spectone I was surprised once I got that. That turned out to be a 3-motor reversing machine. Had a tape on it, Winston Churchill, and went, oh boy, and it just turned out to be a radio show. But there's a bigger Bell and Howell with expandable reels so that you could do the 10.5-inch reels on stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, to get this out into the public, to be able to see all this stuff.